to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Dear God, as we come before you today, we give you thanks for the good gifts that you have given us. We ask for your guidance as we conduct the business at hand, and we pray for your love to live among us. Amen.
Thank you. Clerk Golick, roll call.
Markovich. Here. Spitali. Here. Vanez.
Here.
Kalwinski.
Here.
Ulaki. Here. Higgs. Emerson.
Here.
Enosa.
Here.
Opinker.
Here. Moving on to reading of minutes.
Mr. President,
Councilman Spitali.
make a motion to accept the minutes from January 26, 2015.
There's a motion by Councilman Spitali, second by Councilman Kowinski to accept the minutes from last meeting. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes passed. Moving on to approval of claims.
Mr. Chairman,
Councilman Markovich.
move for approval of claims for January 21st through February 4th for council meeting February 9th, 2015, beginning with claims dated February 2nd and ending with claims dated February 5th, claim number 552 through claim number 919 for a total of $5,433,540.86. I so move.
There's a motion by Councilman Markovich, second by Councilman Higgs, accepting the claims. Is there any discussion? Any discussion on accepting the claims? Clerk Golick, roll call vote.
Markovich.
Yes.
Spitali.
Yes.
Vanez.
Yes.
Kalwinski. Yes. Ulaki.
Yes.
Higgs.
Yes.
Emerson.
Yes.
Enosa.
Yes.
Opinker.
Yes. Claims pass 9-0. Public hearing this evening, there is none. Moving on to communications.
Mr. President.
Councilwoman Vanez.
Yes, I'd like to read a letter from one of the residents that I received with regard to the snow removal. Dear Janet, I would like you to thank our street department and let them know that I appreciate the job they did in clearing our street, even my alley, after the storm on February 1st. The amount of, first of all, rain, then snow, in addition to plummeting temperatures, I'm sure presented many challenges. It's my observation that the weather conditions were the least of their challenges. It's beyond my comprehension why, with more than 48 hours notice of the storm, my neighbors insist on parking on both sides of our street. Many have garages or driveways and don't use them. With vehicles parked on both sides of our street, I can imagine the difficulty in plowing safely. While I understand that some people don't have a garage or a drive, I'm certain other provisions could have been made. Then when the street was plowed, neighbors complained that their car was plowed in. To make matters worse, when my neighbor dug out his car, he threw the snow back in the street that was just plowed. Common sense and consideration would go a long way to make life easier for everyone involved. Every email you send and at every Edison Community Watch meeting you have, you say community is not just about me, it's about us. I truly wish more people would take that saying to heart. It would eliminate unnecessary aggravation and criticism of the dedicated men and women who work for tonight and the following day for us. Thank you for your assistance during the storm, and a big thank you to our street department. Sincerely, Charmaine. Mr. President.
Councilwoman Vanez.
I do have another email that I received. I thought you'd like to know that the city did the sidewalk on Conkey, all the way down from the recycling building to Harrison Avenue, because they saw kids were in the street and nowhere to walk. So I'd like to say thank you to the plow drivers for the work they did and for the city doing the sidewalk on Conkey for us. It was going above and beyond. Thank you, Kathleen, the crossing guard at Conkey and Harrison Avenue. Thank you.
Any other communications?
Mr. President,
Councilman Higgs.
see the correspondence for Hammond snow removal. In order to assist the Hammond Waterworks Department clear up the streets, the Hammond Police will begin targeting cars today and still snowbound. Indiana State requires vehicles that are parked on the public right-of-way be moved within every 72 hours. Vehicles that have to be moved will be towed by the Hammond Police, and the existing snow will be cleared by the Public Works immediately upon removal of the vehicle. In order to give the residents an opportunity to dig their vehicles out, this operation is being done in conjunction with the weekend. Elderly and disabled persons who may need assistance moving their vehicles for the snow may contact the Hammond Public Works at 219-853-6431. The Hammond City Chorus graffiti removal hotline is 219-853-6410. Leave a message. And the Northtown Trustees Emergency Assistance Hotline at 219-306-1344. Leave a message. Hammond Police will begin towing snowbound vehicles on Tuesday. If you have any questions or would like any further contact or comments, please feel free to contact me at pvicari@hammondpolice.com. Thank you. Lieutenant Patrick Bakari, Traffic Division Commander, Hammond Police Department.
Any other communications? Communications is now closed. Moving on to committee reports.
Mr. President,
Councilman Emerson.
I'd like to bring out ordinance 1501 for third and final reading.
Second.
Any other committee reports? Committee reports is now closed. Ordinance is third and final passage. Clerk Golick.
Ordinance 15-01, sponsored by Councilman Emerson and Yulaki. And ordinance amending ordinance number 4631 and Title 7 of the Hammond Municipal Code Traffic Schedule 3 and setting a uniform speed limit for Hammond Avenue.
Mr. President,
Councilman Emerson.
I would like to move to amend ordinance
Oh,
15.
final passage.
Oh, I'm sorry. I move for third and final passage.
Motion by Councilman Emerson, second by Councilman Hinojosa. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President,
Councilman Emerson.
I would like to move to amend Section A of ordinance 1501, first sentence, to replace 25 miles an hour with 35 miles an hour. I so move.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Emerson to amend 1501. We have a motion by Councilman Emerson, second by Councilman Spitali. Is there any discussion on the amendment? Clerk Golick, roll call vote on the amendment.
Markovich. Yes. Spitali.
Yes.
Vines.
Yes.
Kalwinski. Yulaki.
Yes.
Higgs.
Yes.
Emerson.
Yes.
Enosa.
Yes.
Opinker.
Yes, the amended version of 1501 passes 9-0. Now 1501 is written. Clerk Golick, roll call vote.
Markovich.
Yes.
Spitali.
Yes.
Vines.
Yes.
Kalwinski. Yulaki.
Yes.
Higgs.
Yes.
Emerson.
Yes.
Enosa.
Yes.
Opinker.
Yes, 1501 passes 9-0.
President Opinker, that concludes the ordinances for final passage.
Thank you, Clerk Golick. Okay, moving on to number 9, introduction of ordinances.
Item A, ordinance number 15-03, sponsored by Councilman Opinker. An ordinance to appropriate monies into the 2015 gaming fund.
Councilman Kowinski.
I move that 1503 pass through first and second reading, schedule a public hearing for March 9th, 2015, and be placed in council as a whole.
Second.
It's a motion by Councilman Kowinski, second by Councilman Higgs, for first and second reading on 1503, place it in council as a whole. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President,
Councilman Higgs.
I'll briefly go over this 15-03, 2014 money that's going to be reallocated for 2015 from 2014. First district, 13,073.88. Second district, 1,374,846.60. Third district, $407,485.66. Fourth district, 1,366,140.04. Sixth district, 200,793.86. Mayor's balance, 1,621,165.13. Citywide engineering, $1,073,934.68. Citywide parks, 11,438.67. Sheriff, 10%, 30,563.59. First district park, $91.64. Second district parks, 100,000. Third district engineering, $1.12. And third district parks, 30,590.
Any other discussion? All those in favor on first and second on 1503 and putting in council as a whole, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? First and second passes.
Item B, ordinance 15-04, sponsored by Councilman Spitali. An ordinance to appropriate funds in the Hotel Motel Innkeepers Tax Fund for the Planning and Development Department.
Mr. President,
Councilman Higgs.
I move 15-04 and first and second reading by title and refer to council as a whole with a public hearing scheduled on March 9th, 2015. I so move.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Higgs, second by Councilman Spitali for first and second and place 1504 in council as a whole. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Venez.
who's the sponsor of that ordinance?
Councilman Spitali.
Thank you very much.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? First and second passes. 1504.
President Opinker, that concludes the introduction of ordinances.
Thank you, Clerk Golick. Moving on to resolutions.
Item A, Resolution 15R-03, sponsored by Councilman Kowinski. A resolution reappointing Diane Kaminsky to the Hammond Port Authority.
Mr. Chairman,
And Councilman Kowinski.
I move for passage of 15R-03.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Kowinski, second by Councilman Spitali for final passage of 15R03. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Councilman Kowinski.
Diane has served, I believe, in all offices of the Hammond Port Authority over her length of terms, and has been a very good addition to that board and has been dutiful in her service to the board. And I'm asking for a reappointment, and when talking to the other board members, they all highly endorsed her. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Clerk Golick, roll call vote on 15R03.
Markovich.
Yes.
Spitali.
Yes.
Venez.
Yes.
Kowinski.
Yes.
Ulaki.
Yes.
Higgs.
Yes.
Emerson.
Yes.
Enosa.
Yes.
Opinker.
Yes, 15R03 passes 9-0.
President Opinker, that concludes the reading of the resolutions.
Thank you, Clerk Golick. Moving on to new unfinished business.
Mr. President,
Councilman Higgs.
I want to personally send my condolences to Ronald Jefferson's family, who passed away, who was a former fireman in the city of Hammond, and he will be funeralized on Saturday. And also, as we observe Black History Month, there will be specifically some individuals from within the community who made such a contribution to the entire city, that I will be identifying them at the next council meeting.
Any other new unfinished business?
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Vines.
for those who wish to do good in their community and know what's going on in their neighborhood, I'd like to announce some upcoming Crime Watch meetings. On Tuesday, February 17th, the East Hammond Pullman Crime Watch will meet at the Ophelia Steen Center at 6:30. The Hessville Crime Watch will meet on Thursday, February 19th at the Jean Shepherd Center at 7 p.m. The South Hammond Crime Watch will also meet on Thursday, February 19th at 7 p.m. at the Hammond Housing Authority building. And the Whiting-Robertsdale Crime Watch will meet Thursday, February 12th at Calumet College at 6:30 p.m. And that is how change happens, one gesture, one person, one moment at a time. Thank you.
Any other new unfinished business?
Mr. President,
Councilman Higgs.
received correspondence from the Boys and Girls Club as well as the Ophelia Steen Center, thanking them for the contributions that were made to them at the end of the year. So I want to personally say thank them for serving my district and the city of Hammond.
All right, at the last meeting, Councilman Hinojosa asked for that report from Heather. She did hand a copy of me, so I do have that for you here, Councilor. Any other new unfinished business?
Mr. President,
Councilman Emerson.
received an email today about the Buffalo Wild Wings Benefit Night. Come out and support the Eggers Middle School community-based education classes and have a fun night out at the Buffalo Wild Wings. 15% of the food sales will go towards our moderate and severe special needs classes, they say. It's Wednesday, February 25th from 5 to 9 p.m. only at the Hammond location, 2942 Carlson Drive. You may contact Judy, 933-2581 for more information. Thank you.
Any other new unfinished business?
Mr. President,
Councilman Hinojosa.
while we have in the audience Gary Gleason and his staff in the street department, I'd like to thank them personally for all the hard work they've been doing. I know myself in the steel industry at ArcelorMittal, that's what I do. I work straight days on the payloader, and believe me, even today, and it's been quite a few days already, we're still cleaning up, from that disaster storm that we have. And I know you guys put a lot of hours and a lot of hard work on there, so I'd like to congratulate all of you on doing everything you could to make our streets as safe as possible. I know there's a lot of negative comments out there, mainly about salting. I think I know that maybe for the first day, I think that's when some of the salting, in my opinion, could have been done. I know ourselves, when the temperature is 20 degrees or colder, we still put down salt, and it does help something. It helps get traction. That's the only negative thing that I seen. But otherwise than that, I mean, that's a lot of hours and back and forth, and I commend you guys for doing a good job.
Mr. Chairman,
Councilman Markovich.
I would like to echo the same thing. I mean, I know it's tough out there. It wasn't easy. Picked the wrong day to do it, Super Bowl Sunday. And it seemed like last year we got all this snow on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The guys were saying they're working 24 hours. I was shoveling snow at the in-laws from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock Sunday, and got a call that I didn't have power at my house from 2 o'clock till 9:30 at night. So, taking a shower in the dark with a candle wasn't too romantic, but you know how that goes. But then I was able to make it to one of the parties because there's nothing to do at home. You have no power or anything. But I got stuck in the alley going to the game. But hey, that's just the way it is. Things happen. They did the best they can. You just got to deal with it. At least we didn't have 84 inches like we had last year. But we got it all at once, and hopefully maybe not too much more. But I appreciate everything you did. I know the mayor got on the radio, he did the best he could with that explanation, and that's what it is. It's an act of God, and we just have to deal with it and do the best we can. Thank you.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Vines.
I would like to echo those sentiments. I know I spoke with Gary daily during that whole ordeal, and you guys did a great job. You were out there again today trying to move some of the piles from where cars were snowed in. So I know it's a thankless job, but I want to thank you. Thank you very much.
Mr. President,
Councilman Spitali.
they always do a good job.
Any other new and unfinished business?
Mr. President,
Councilman Higgs.
I'm going to read a letter that I received from the board of directors from which I sit on for 20-some years. It's from Greater Hammond Community Services Incorporated, 824 Hoffman Street, Hammond, Indiana, 46327. It says, Councilman Higgs, City of Hammond, 5925 Calumet Avenue, Hammond, Indiana, 46320. Dear Councilman Higgs, we are very grateful for your generous donation. Contribution that yours goes far in providing the needs for the people who have so little. Greater Hammond provides itself as being a leader in the delivery of social services for the people in the community who truly are in need. Greater Hammond strives to bring together a variety of funding sources and volunteers to meet the needs of the entire community. Because of many cutbacks in the state and federal funds, we are more than ever dependent on local donations to efficiently serve our community. Sincerely, Timothy P. Cunningham, Executive Director of Greater Hammond Community Services.
Any other new and unfinished business?
Mr. Chairman,
Councilman Kowinski.
just going back to the snow removal, I too want to thank the street department or the Board of Works. And not only do they do streets, our alleys were taken care of, the trails at the park were eventually cleaned, and they even had some time to work on the skating rink as such. So I love you guys. You've been really great to us, and thank you from North Hammond, Pulaski Park especially. Thank you.
Likewise from the 5th District. Jaime does a hell of a job with his crew. Thank you. Any other new and finished business?
Mr. President,
Councilman Emerson.
I don't want to feel left out. I believe it was Super Bowl Sunday. I was snow blowing my own driveway, and Pat Moore, 4th District Supervisor, came by, and he did not do my driveway. I did. So he was out Super Bowl Sunday, and thank you guys. I think you did a really good job.
Any other new and unfinished business?
Mr. President,
Councilman Yulaki.
I'd like to thank them too. They did a good job, and I had one complaint out of the whole 2nd District, and they all said you did a great job, so I appreciate the job.
Any other new and unfinished business?
Mr. President,
Councilman Higgs.
I also received a card that Councilman Markovich just gave me. It says thank you, and it's from the Hurricanes Incorporated, Willie D. White Jr., 5954 Wallace Road, Hammond, Indiana.
Any other new and finished business? New and finished business is now closed. Moving on to public expression. Our first speaker of the night will be Diane Kaminsky.
You read it. I didn't get one. Why not? I don't know why not. I got it.
Hello, Diane Kaminsky, 1521 Parkview in Whiting. I would just like to thank the council for reappointing me again. It has been a real honor to be on the Port Authority and to be part of all the changes that are happening in Robertsdale. So thank you again. The other thing I wanted to make a comment on is we've seen a lot in the paper about the RDA and about the South Shore tax. And I do want to thank the mayor for making the remarks that he's made. I do really think there should be a referendum if they're going to take that much money from us. When the county income tax came along, I wasn't real happy with it, but to me it made me feel a little better because I thought the money was going to stay here in Hammond. I got involved in the council back in 2004 when we had the tax issue with South County, thinking that they were paying too much taxes compared to North County and their money was being used elsewhere and it wasn't being used for their good. I feel that this is just the opposite of what they saw back then. We are being taxed this money, and this money is going to be taken out for 30 years at least. And I believe that, that's wrong, that money would be better used here in Hammond. And I don't believe there'll be a return on investment for Hammond or any of the northern cities, because once the people come off the South Shore and they go on to the, if the extension gets done, they go on to that western extension, they're going to just reduce what comes through on the northern because there won't be enough ridership there. So I do believe that we're paying the county income tax. We were basically forced to pay the county income tax. Now they want to force us to take our money and to use it for something that's not going to benefit us at all. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker will be Kitten Gray. Kitten Gray. Carlotta Blake King.
Good evening. This is in the way of a public service announcement. We have been working with the Hammond School Board, trying to, requesting them to change their date of meeting so that it would not conflict with the Hammond Council's meeting. So I did receive an email from President Mrs. White indicating that they have decided to change their dates to the first and third Monday so residents can, who wish to attend school board and council, they wouldn't be a conflict, and it will start next month in March. Thank you very much.
Next speaker will be Mr. George Stoya. Final speaker of the evening, Mr. Alvin Cheeks.
George is not going. No, George. No, I passed. Oh, you passed? I'm sorry. Alvin Cheeks, 832 Merrill Street. Monty Leela, she went to Italy, and she took this cannoli oil with her. And what we done was is that we brought it back to Hammond, and we made sure that it touched the hand of a lot of kids in the neighborhood, a lot of ministers, and they asked me to give this to you, Councilman Higgs, and also Steve Wynn from Valley Casino said he's going to personally come in town and bless you. So he asked me to give you this cannoli oil on his behalf. And also Al Goff from AXG Corporation has said thank you for all your hard work in the community during Black History Month. So this for you. He said make sure you eat with it and wash your hands.
I don't know about eating with it, but did they bring a check? Because I need some funds.
No, God bless you.
Oh, my Lord Jesus.
Thank you. That was the final speaker of the evening. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Councilman